These scenes were a surprise, but not the welcome kind. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 unexpected movie deaths that made us cry. For this list, we'll be looking at shocking big screen deaths that triggered some waterworks. Naturally, there will be spoilers throughout.
Shut up, I said, nigga, shut up!
Let's roll. Number 10. Philip Coulson, The Avengers. Someone dying in a Joss Whedon project is about as unexpected as a Tony Stark quip, but Phil Coulson passing in The Avengers still hits hard. Despite being in a flying fortress with some of the universe's strongest heroes, Coulson is still unceremoniously stabbed by Loki.
You like this? We started working on the prototype after you sent the destroyer. Even I don't know what it does. You want to find out?
Up to this point, The Avengers was more about banter and clashing egos than life or death battles. And Coulson's demise acts as an emotional anchor for not only the heroes, but also the rest of the story.
Phil Coulson died still believing in that idea. In heroes.
Coulson does eventually come back to the MCU, but that does not diminish this moment's impact.
You're going to lose. Am I? It's in your nature.
Number 9. Mary Margaret Maggie Fitzgerald, $1 Million Baby. At first glance, Clint Eastwood's $1 Million Baby might seem like just another boxing movie in the vein of something like Rocky. However, that changes around halfway through the story. Once Maggie is injured in the ring and rendered mostly immobile, the sports flick gives way to an emotionally draining drama about perseverance, family, and love.
Frankie must have called every hospital in America looking for somebody who'd tell him they could fix her. Came close twice, till they checked her over.
$1 Million Baby is exhausting to watch and offers no easy solutions. When Frankie finally honors Maggie's wish for death, any lingering traces of $1 Million Baby's feel-good sports roots are long gone, and the only things left are tears and anger.
He gave her a single shot. It was enough adrenaline to do the job a few times over. He didn't want her going through this again.
Number 8. Rachel Dawes, The Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy is relatively grounded compared to most superhero films, but the movies are not exceptionally dark or grim.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Built up as the Dark Knight's main love interest, Rachel Dawes is killed off in a moment that shocks Bruce Wayne, Harvey Dent, and audiences under the assumption that Batman will always find a way to save the day.
You'll have to choose. He's at 250 52nd Street, and she's on Avenue X. That's just a...
Which one you going after? Rachel!
What heightens this death's impact is that it does not seem initially hopeless, but the Joker's proclamation that Batman can only save Rachel or Dent proves to be prophetic.
Rachel! Rachel!
Harvey. Okay.
Rachel!
Harvey, it's okay. It's all right. Listen.
Number 7. Captain John H. Miller, Saving Private Ryan. The protagonist of a war movie dying is hardly unexpected, especially in one as intense as Steven Spielberg's 1998 epic. However, the way Captain Miller falls is devastating and shocking.
James. Earn this. Earn it.
Tom Hanks's captain survives staggering odds in a final battle against German soldiers, only to be shot by a prisoner minutes before Allied forces arrive to turn the tide.
Where the hell are you going? Captain, get back here!
Saving Private Ryan paints Miller and his soldiers' mission to save James Ryan as, at best, unwise.
You know, if going to Ramel and finding him so he can go home, if that earns me the right to get back to my wife, well then that's my mission.
This idea is emphasized greatly by the fact that the hero's final action in the war is to weakly fire at an approaching tank. Number 6. Jack Twist, Brokeback Mountain. Set during a time when same-sex relationships were not as openly accepted, Brokeback Mountain has an air of tragedy from the second Ennis and Jack begin to develop feelings for one another.
This is a one-shot thing we got going on here.
It's nobody's business but ours.
You know I ain't queer.
Me neither.
More than a decade passes as both men get married and have kids. Meanwhile, Ennis rejects Jack's attempts to start a life together.
But you didn't want it, Ennis. So what we got now is Brokeback Mountain. Everything's built on that. That's all we got, boy.
One day, Ennis receives news confirming that Jack has passed away. The reveal is harrowingly understated, especially since Brokeback Mountain leaves it ambiguous as to what exactly happened to Jack. If the tears do not flow during this moment, then they will when Ennis visits Jack's parents and finds a pair of familiar shirts. Number 5. Rosie, Jojo Rabbit. Due to its satirical tone and Sam Rockwell's boundless charm, Jojo Rabbit's tragic beats end up landing like a ton of bricks.
Oh, yes, that's a wonderful idea. Yes, I give my full permission for you to send this 10-year-old child into war. Or someone get this kid a gun.
And I'd be more than happy to fight in the front.
Get in line, kids.
Set in Germany during World War II, Jojo is a young Nazi enthusiast whose imaginary friend is Hitler. His mother secretly opposes the war movement and has a Jewish girl hiding in their attic. So it was only a matter of time before something gave way.
She was born on the 7th, not the 1st. He was helping us. I'll be back. They'll figure out she's dead, then I'll be dead.
That happened when Jojo found his mother dead in a public square, a moment that is surprisingly quiet for the film. Rosie is the most inherently good person in Jojo Rabbit, and her death is devastating.
I just didn't want you to know anything that could get you in trouble. But now I have nothing. No one.
Number 4. Hoban Wash Washburn, Serenity. Joss Whedon's characters are generally on borrowed time, but in writing Wash's death in Serenity, Whedon seems to delight in being extra cruel.
This landing is going to get pretty interesting.
Define interesting.
Oh God, we're all going to die?
Firefly's cinematic finale has action, comedy, twists, and 2 noteworthy deaths. Along with Shepard Book, Wash, Serenity's pilot, does not survive to the end credits. After braving a battlefield and securing a crash landing, Wash is punished for his success with a vicious spear to the chest.
Wash, baby, no. Baby, come on, you gotta go. Come on, we gotta move.
The death is sudden, and Serenity barely gives anyone time to process the loss, as there's still work to be done.
Wait, Wash, where's Wash? He ain't coming.
Move the Goram crates!
Number 3. Radio Raheem, Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee's 1989 drama tackles racism and racial conflict within the context of a Brooklyn neighborhood and revolves around an Italian pizzeria's wall of fame that lacks any black representation.
Hey, Sal, how come we got no brothers on the wall here?
You want brothers on the wall? Get your own place. You can do what you want to do.
Tensions escalate until a fight breaks out between Saul, the owner of the pizzeria, and Radio Raheem and his friends, leading to the cops arriving on the scene to break them up. However, one officer ends up choking Raheem to death, despite pleas to stop from both the crowd and other cops. It's a moment that's simultaneously totally unexpected yet depressingly familiar, and it serves as the instigating factor for a riot in the movie. Number 2. Thomas J. Sennett, My Girl. While death is a common theme of many coming-of-age stories, My Girl handles the subject more directly than most. As an 11-year-old girl who lives in a funeral home and whose mother died shortly after giving birth to her, Veda is fully aware that nothing lasts forever.
Weeping Willow, stop your tears. There is something to calm your fears. You think death has ripped you forever apart, and I know he'll always be in your heart.
but her friendship with Thomas J. brought a touch of innocence to the protagonist's world. So it is super shocking when the news breaks out that Thomas has died due to an allergic reaction.
He was allergic to bees.
He's okay, isn't he?
There were just too many of them.
The funeral scene after this gut punch is also heartbreaking, as My Girl does not attempt to soften Veda's grief.
I want to go tree climbing, Thomas J. His face hurts. And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
Before we unveil our top pick, grab some tissues because here's a few more honorable mentions that'll make you bawl your eyes out. Neil Perry, Dead Poets Society. A heartbreaking death that hurts as much as a punch to the face.
It's okay, Doc.
It's all right.
He wouldn't have done it.
Can't explain it,
It was his
Todd.
father. No. He wasn't like this. He wouldn't. His dad was. His father did it. His father killed him.
Ophelia, Pan's Labyrinth. Whether the underworld is real or imaginary, this death is still devastating. Leslie Burke, Bridge to Terabithia. Because a character so full of life just randomly dies off screen.
Your friend Leslie's dead. She drowned in a creek this morning. Apparently she tried to swing across on a rope and it broke. They think she hit her head.
Yondu Udanta, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Because Quill deserved to spend more time with his real daddy.
I'm damn lucky you're my boy.
What?
Monsieur Gustav H., The Grand Budapest Hotel. Because it happens out of nowhere and feels unexpectedly real.
There are still faint glimmers of civilization left in this barbaric slaughterhouse that was once known as humanity.
You filthy goddamn fuck-my-precious asshole!
He was one of them.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Malcolm Crowe, The Sixth Sense. Hard as it might be to go into The Sixth Sense blind nowadays, the film's legendary twist is nothing short of a crushing masterstroke.
You haven't told bedtime stories before.
Not too many, no.
Well, you have to add some twists and stuff.
After being shot by a patient in the opening sequence, Dr. Malcolm Crowe takes on the case of a child who can see dead people as a way to make amends for failing his former client.
And Malcolm decides to try and help this new boy. Because he feels that if he can help this new boy, be like helping that other one too.
Although The Sixth Sense drops some subtle hints foreshadowing its twist, the reveal that Crowe has been dead the whole time comes as a huge shock.
I see people. They don't know they're dead.
How often do you see them?
The death scene is so unexpected, the impacted character needs around 90 minutes to realize it even happened.
Doesn't even hurt anymore.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.